Captain Lee Daho stood on the observation deck of Luna Station, watching the sky burn. Earth hung below like a blue jewel. But today it looked different. Today, 300 alien ships blocked out the sun. The Dominion Empire had arrived that morning without warning. Their ships were massive, each one bigger than Earth's largest city. They moved through space like floating mountains, dark metal gleaming with strange lights. Energy shields covered them like soap bubbles made of starlight. "Sir, we're getting reports from Earth Defense Command," said Lieutenant Park Sojin. Her voice shook as she read from her tablet. "Admiral Kim Timon says our entire fleet is gone. All 47 ships destroyed in 12 minutes. Lee closed his eyes. 47 ships, 10,000 good people, gone. The communication screen flickered. To life, a tall alien appeared, his skin gray like old metal, his eyes yellow like dying stars. When he spoke, his voice came through the translation system in perfect English. "I am Supreme Commander Velthor of the Dominion Empire. Your primitive defense fleet has been removed. You will surrender immediately." On Earth's surface, every television, every radio, every phone showed the same message. The alien commander stood on the bridge of his flagship, surrounded by other creatures from across the galaxy. They were all different shapes and sizes, but they all had the same look. In their eyes, they looked at humans the way humans might look at insects. "Your species will join the Dominion as a protected race," Velthar continued. "You will work in our factories. You will serve in our pleasure districts. Some of you will be sent to other worlds to build our cities. This is a great honor." Behind him, other aliens laughed. One of them, a creature with 4 arms and green skin, spoke up. "Supreme Commander, look at their ships. They still use chemical rockets, like children playing with fireworks." More laughter filled the bridge. Velthar smiled, showing teeth like broken glass, double quotes, "Yes, Consul Rex Mori, they are amusing, aren't they? Their largest warship wouldn't make a good maintenance part in our fleet, and they still fight wars among themselves. Pathetic." The alien called Rex Mori pulled up images of human technology on a holographic display. Pictures of Earth's space stations, fighter jets, and nuclear submarines appeared in the air. "Look at this," Rex Mori said, pointing at a human aircraft carrier. "They float these metal boxes on water and think they are mighty. They don't even have basic energy shields or gravity control." Added another alien, this one covered in scales. "They're stuck crawling around their single planet like worms." Velthar nodded. 200 other species have joined our empire. All of them were more advanced than these humans. Some had energy weapons, others had faster-than-light travel. A few even had basic AI systems, but they all fell to our power in the end. He turned back to the camera, his yellow eyes gleaming. "Humans of Earth, you have 24 hours to surrender completely. After that, we will take your world by force. Your cities will burn. Your people will serve anyway, but there will be fewer of them." The transmission ended. On Luna Station, Captain Lee Daho stood in silence. Around him, his staff waited for orders. Some were crying. Others looked angry. All of them looked scared. "Sir," whispered Park Sojin, "what do we do?" Lee reached into his uniform pocket and pulled out a small device. It looked like an ordinary communication unit, but Park had never seen it before. Red lights blinked along its surface. "I need you to contact Dr. Choi Hai-1 at the Xenobiology Lab," Lee said quietly. "Tell her Code Black has been authorized." "Code Black, sir? She know what it means?" Park nodded and hurried away. Lee turned back to watch Earth. The alien ships were moving now, taking positions around the planet like a cage made of metal and hate. Far below, on Earth's surface, Admiral Kim Taman sat in a bunker deep under the Korean mountains. His command center was full of people working at computers, trying to coordinate what was left of Earth's defenses. Admiral called Commander Yoon Ji-hoon from across the room. "We're getting reports from all over the world. The aliens are landing. Troops in major cities, no resistance. Everyone is just giving up." Kim nodded slowly. He had expected this. The show of force had been too overwhelming. Most people couldn't fight when the enemy seemed impossible to beat, but Kim knew something the aliens didn't. Something no one on Earth knew except for a very few people. "Commander Yoon," he said, Send a message to the Kuiper Belt. Tell them the demonstration is over. Time to wake up the sleeper. The sleeper, sir. Project Titan, tell Captain Bay Minho that 30 years of hiding is enough. Meanwhile, on the alien flagship, Supreme Commander Velther was celebrating. The ship's great hall was filled with his officers, all drinking and laughing at human weaknesses. Did you see how their ships exploded? Laughed one alien. Like paper and fire, and their weapons added another. They shot metal bullets at our shields. Metal bullets, like throwing rocks at a mountain. Velther raised his cup high. To the newest servants of the Dominion Empire, may they learn to appreciate the honor we give them. The aliens cheered and drank. On the hall's great screen, images of Earth played like entertainment. Human cities from above, human crowds running in panic, human leaders trying to make speeches about hope and resistance. Hope, snorted Rex Mori. What can they hope for? We have conquered worlds with weapons that could crack moons. We have destroyed species that could travel between galaxies. These humans can barely leave their own planet. As the aliens celebrated, deep in the darkness at the edge of Earth's solar system, something very large was turning on for the first time in decades. Power flowed through systems the size of city blocks. Weapons that had never been fired began to charge, and in the command center of humanity's greatest secret, Captain Bay Minho opened his eyes and smiled. The Empire had mocked Earth. Soon, they would learn why that was a mistake. But for now, they celebrated, confident in their power, never imagining that humans might have secrets too. Asterisk. 3 months had passed since the Dominion Empire took control of Earth. The aliens had built giant towers in every major city. Human workers lined up each morning to receive job assignments. Some went to factories. Others cleaned alien ships. The lucky ones got to work in kitchens, preparing food for their new masters. Dr. Choi Hai-1 sat in a small cell on the alien flagship. She had been captured during the invasion because she was Earth's top expert on alien life. Now she spent her days translating human languages for the Dominion and answering questions about human biology. But she was also listening and learning. The humans on Sector 7 are working too slowly, said a guard outside her cell. His voice carried through the thin walls. All new species are slow at first, replied another alien. We've done this 200 times before. They always learn to work faster when they get hungry enough. Choi pressed her ear closer to the wall. She had been collecting information for months, writing it on scraps of paper and hiding them in her mattress. The Dominion had a pattern. They would arrive at a new world with overwhelming force. They would destroy the local military in minutes. Then they would offer the same deal: surrender and serve, or die fighting. Every species had chosen to serve, every species except one, long ago. But that species was destroyed completely. The Dominion made sure no one forgot that lesson. On Earth's surface, Engineer Park Sojin was working in a Dominion repair facility. Her job was to fix human equipment that the aliens used for simple tasks. But she had another job too, one the aliens didn't know about. Late at night, when the alien supervisors were sleeping, Park would sneak into the communication room. She had built a secret transmitter inside an old radio. Every few days, she sent messages to coordinates in deep space. Titan Base, this is Songbird, she whispered into the radio. I have new information about their shield generators. They use a rotating frequency pattern, changes every 47 seconds. Far away in the Kuiper Belt, Captain Bay Minho received a message on the bridge of humanity's greatest secret. The U.S. Titan floated in the darkness between ice chunks and frozen rocks, invisible to alien sensors. The ship was enormous. It stretched for 5 kilometers from front to back. Its hull was made of a metal that didn't exist in nature, created in secret labs over 30 years of preparation. Inside, 10,000 humans worked at stations that looked like they came from a science fiction movie. Sir, said Lieutenant Commander Yoon Ji-hoon, approaching Bay's command chair. We have all the information we need about their ship designs. Park Sojin has done excellent work. Bay nodded. Park had been sending intelligence for 3 months. Shield frequencies, weapon power levels, ship patrol routes, communication codes, everything they needed to plan their attack. What about the other resistance cells? Bay asked. Admiral Kim Taman reports they're ready. Colonel Shin Yongji has her Marine teams in position on the moon bases. They're just waiting for our signal. On the alien flagship, Supreme Commander Velthar was getting worried. Small problems had been growing bigger over the past month. Supply ships disappeared between star systems. Communication probes went silent near the outer planets. Some of his officers reported strange readings on their long-range sensors. It's probably just space debris, said Consul Rex Mori, looking at the reports. Or maybe solar radiation. This system's star is more active than most. But Velthar had conquered many worlds. He knew the difference between natural problems and enemy action. Double the patrols around the outer planets. He ordered an increased sensor sweeps. Something is out there. He was right. The Titan had been moving closer to the inner solar system, using Jupiter's gravity to hide its approach. Captain Bay had been waiting for the perfect moment to reveal humanity's true strength. That moment came when the aliens made their biggest mistake, decided to make an example of the human resistance. His forces had captured Admiral Kim Taemin during a raid on one of the underground bunkers. The alien commander planned to execute him publicly, broadcasting it across Earth to break human spirits. People of Earth, Velthor announced from his flagship, your military leader will die in 1 hour. This is what happens to those who resist the Dominion. Learn from his example. On the Titan's bridge, Captain Bay watched the broadcast with cold anger. Kim Taemin had been his friend for 20 years. They had planned Project Titan together in secret meetings, stealing resources and hiding construction from everyone, even their own government. Sir, said Yoon Ji-hoon quietly, are we going to let them kill the Admiral? Bay stood up from his command chair. Around the bridge, 200 officers turned to look at him. They had trained for this moment their entire adult lives. Some had been born on this ship, never seeing Earth except in pictures. No, Bay said, we are not. He walked to the main communication panel and opened a channel that would broadcast to every Dominion ship in the solar system. Attention, Dominion Empire. This is Captain Bay Minho of the United Earth ship Titan. You have something that belongs to us. On the alien, flagship alarms started screaming. The main screen flickered and showed something impossible. A human ship was approaching from the outer system, but it was massive, bigger than anything the Dominion had ever seen. That's impossible, whispered Rex Mori. Our sensors would have detected something that large. How big is it? Demanded Velthor. The sensor officer's hands shook as he read the numbers. Sir, ... It's 8 kilometers long, 3 kilometers wide. Mass readings are, sir, it's bigger than our entire battle group combined. The Titan emerged from behind Jupiter like a metal mountain coming out of the night. Its hull was dark gray, almost black, covered with weapons that had never been seen before. Energy coursed along its surface in patterns that hurt to look at directly. This is impossible, Velthor repeated. They're primitives. They use chemical rockets. But as he watched, the Titan did something that made his blood freeze. It didn't slow down as it approached Jupiter's gravity well. Instead, it seemed to bend space around itself, moving in ways that violated every law of physics the Dominion knew. Captain Bay's voice echoed through every alien ship. We've been watching you for a long time, Supreme Commander. We know about the 200 species you've conquered. We know about your patterns, your weaknesses, your fears. The Titan's weapons began to glow. You mocked our chemical rockets and metal bullets. You laughed at our primitive technology. But you made one mistake. 3 Dominion patrol ships moved to intercept the Titan. They fired their strongest weapons, energy beams that could cut through asteroids. The beams hit the human ship and ... disappeared. The Titan's hull absorbed the energy like a sponge soaking up water. You assumed, Bay continued, that what you saw was all we had. The Titan fired once. A single beam of coherent energy struck the lead Dominion ship. The alien vessel didn't explode. It simply stopped existing, leaving only empty space. Where it had been, Supreme Commander Velthor stared at the screen in shock. In 30 years of conquest, he had never seen a weapon like that. Prepare all battle groups, he whispered. Send word to the Grand Fleet. We need reinforcements. But Captain Bay wasn't finished talking. Release Admiral Kim Taemin immediately. You have 10 minutes to comply. After that, we start taking your ships apart one by one. The transmission ended, In the silence that followed, every alien on the flagship understood that everything had changed. The humans had been hiding, and now they were done hiding. Supreme Commander Veldor had called for the Grand Fleet. 2,000 ships from across the galaxy were coming to destroy the human threat. The largest military force in Dominion history would arrive in 3 days. But Captain Bay Minho wasn't waiting. Admiral Kim Taeman has been released, reported Lieutenant Commander Yoon Ji-hoon from the Titan's bridge. He's being transported to Luna Station now. Good, said Bay. Now we can begin the real fight. The Titan moved through space like a hunting shark. Its gravity drives bent reality around it, allowing the massive ship to appear anywhere in the solar system within minutes. The Dominion fleet tried to track it, but their sensors couldn't keep up. On Earth, Colonel Shin Yun-ji received the signal she had been waiting for. Hidden bases across the planet suddenly came alive. Weapons that had been buried for decades rose from underground bunkers. Humans who had been pretending to be slaves pulled hidden guns from their workstations. All units, this is Dragon Base. Shin spoke into her communicator. Operation Freedom is now active. Take back our world. The aliens had made a crucial mistake. They thought broken humans would stay broken. They didn't understand that humans were very good at pretending. Dr. Choi Hai-won was still on the alien flagship when the revolution began. She had been collecting information for months, but she also had a secret weapon, her knowledge of alien psychology. As alarms screamed through the ship, she broke out of her cell, using tools she had hidden for weeks. The alien guards were too busy panicking to notice one human woman moving through their corridors. She reached the ship's main communication center and plugged in a device Park Sojin had secretly given her months ago. Suddenly, every screen on every Dominion ship showed the same thing. Recordings of Supreme Commander Velthar and his officers laughing at human weakness. Look at their primitive ships. Velthar's recorded voice echoed across the fleet. They're like children playing with toys. But beside those recordings, new images appeared. The Titan destroying 3 Dominion ships with single shots. Human fighters moving through space in ways that seemed impossible. Earth's hidden weapons turning alien landing craft into burning wreckage. The effect was devastating. Across the Dominion fleet, alien crews realized they had been lied to. If humans could hide technology this advanced, what else were they capable of? Captain Bay watched the alien fleet's formation begin to break apart. Some ships were trying to retreat. Others were firing at each other in confusion. Fear was spreading faster than any weapon. Sir, said Commander Yoon Ji-hoon, we're receiving surrender requests from 47 alien ships. They want to change sides. Tell them to move away from the Dominion formation, Bay ordered. We'll deal with them after we finish with Veltar. Supreme Commander's flagship was trying to escape, but the Titan was faster. Much faster. Engineer Park Sojin had finally revealed her true purpose. She wasn't just gathering intelligence. She was sabotaging alien systems from the inside. As Dominion ships tried to fight back, their weapons malfunctioned. Their shields flickered. Their engines stuttered. How is this possible? Screamed Velthor as his flagship's main gun exploded instead of firing. We checked all the human workers. We monitored everything. Consul Rex Mori was staring at his tactical display in horror. Sir, we're receiving reports from across the galaxy. Other species are rebelling. The news of human resistance has spread to every world in the Empire. It was true. For the first time in centuries, conquered species were fighting back. They had seen that the mighty Dominion could be beaten. If primitive humans could hide such advanced technology, maybe the Empire wasn't as strong as everyone believed. The Titan positioned itself directly in front of Velthor's flagship. Captain Bay opened a direct communication channel. Supreme Commander, Bay said calmly, your empire is finished. Your own fleet is surrendering or running away. Your conquered worlds are in revolt. You have one choice left. Never, Velthor shouted. The Dominion has ruled for 1,000 years. We will not bow to primitive humans. You still don't understand, Bay replied. We were never primitive. We just let you think we were. The Titan's main weapon began to charge. Energy coursed along, its hull like lightning trapped in metal. The weapon was bigger than most alien ships, and the power readings were beyond anything the Dominion had ever seen. 30 years ago, we detected your empire at the edge of our galaxy, Bay continued. We knew you were coming. We knew what you did to other species, so we prepared. Images appeared on every screen in the Dominion fleet. Human shipyards hidden in asteroid fields, weapons factories built inside dead planets, training centers where humans had practiced fighting aliens for decades. We didn't just build the Titan, Bay said. We built 100 ships like it. They're hidden throughout the galaxy, waiting for my signal. It was a lie, but the aliens didn't know that. Fear spread through the Dominion fleet like fire through dry grass. Admiral Kim Taman's voice joined the broadcast from Luna Station. We studied every species you conquered. We learned from their mistakes. We spent 3 decades preparing for this day. Colonel Shin Yoon-ji added her voice from Earth's surface, and we're just getting started. Every human in the galaxy now knows the truth. We're not your slaves. We're your replacements. Supreme Commander Velthor stared at the Titan's massive weapon pointing at his ship. Around him, his officers were abandoning their posts. The great Dominion fleet was scattering like leaves in a storm. This is impossible, he whispered. No, said Captain Bay. This is humanity. The Titan didn't fire its ultimate weapon. It didn't need to. The message was clear. The age of the Dominion Empire was over. 6 months later, Dr. Choi Hai-won stood in the new Galactic Council building on Luna. Representatives from 400 species filled the Great Hall. The Dominion Empire had collapsed completely, and something new was being born. The Free Worlds Alliance welcomes all species as equals, she announced to the gathered delegates. No more empires. No more slaves. We move forward together, or not at all. In the audience, former Dominion officers sat next to their former slaves. Some aliens were angry, others were grateful. All of them were learning a new way to live. Captain Bay Minho watched from the observation deck, still wearing his Earth Defense Force uniform. The Titan floated outside, no longer alone. Ships from dozens of species surrounded it, all working together to build a better galaxy. Engineer Park Sojin joined him at the window. Do you think it will work? She asked. This alliance idea. Bay smiled. Humans have been fighting and making peace for thousands of years. We know how to do both. The galaxy is about to learn what we've always known. What's that? That our greatest strength isn't our weapons or our technology. It's our ability to change, to adapt, to become something better than we were yesterday. Outside, ships from across the galaxy worked side by side, building a future the Dominion Empire could never have imagined. The humans had kept their promise. They hadn't just defeated the Empire. They had replaced it with something better. The mockery was over. The galaxy belonged to everyone now.